Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 24-hour charity live stream. Look, we actually have the border now.
Wow.
I know.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
It is early.
It's early.
I have not slept.
I slept maybe 4 hours.
I'm tired, but I've got enough caffeine in my blood to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the timer up there.
Mm-hmm.
9 hours.
9 hours.
And we've already raised over $230 considering we also had 2 in-person stream donations.
Yup. It has been a very fun-filled, eventful live stream thus far.
Absolutely. We have a lot more planned. There's going to be, obviously, the VOD's going to come up. So if you missed your favorite section because it was at the ungodly hours of the morning, you can always go back and watch it.
Of course.
Yeah.
But for right now, we are debuting episode 0 of the ECA podcast.
Welcome. Yes.
We are so excited to have you all here. A new venture for ECA.
Yeah, this is something that I've been excited about for a while, and previous PR director wanted to do as well, but now we actually have the assets and the stuff to make it happen.
Yeah.
So what is this podcast?
Yeah, what is this podcast? So the kind of vision for it is just a platform to showcase ECA, to showcase all of the clubs and all of the cool things that our clubs do.
Yeah, and varsity esports as well.
And varsity esports as well. All of the competitive ventures. And yeah, just a highlight of our great, amazing organizations that we have within ECA.
Yeah, and what we have coming up, like we've got a little poster for
We do.
you all to take a peek at.
We do.
We've got it right here. I'm going to have our caster man focus on me for just a second.
Introducing.
Take a look at the poster for our Fall 2023 LAN, which is happening next week.
November 11th, I believe.
So what you can do, man behind the desk, just double click on the camera that shows my face.
Let's get a big old
Here
look at this
it is.
amazing poster done by our art director, I believe. Yeah.
So as you can see, it costs 0 cents to get into this LAN.
Exactly. Free.
When? It's happening next weekend.
Next weekend.
And it's going to be from 12 until 10 p.m. on November 11th. Where? It's right here, right where we're streaming. Comart's Eye. It's going to be going on all across the building, just like it usually does. We're going to have a couple of rooms booked out with a bunch of fun events.
Yep.
We've got all 14 ECA clubs actually hosting an event this year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there's a QR code to scan. Can't really scan it. Just join the Discord, discord.gg/ECA of MSU. You'll find out more info. But
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. The poster is a great design too. It's like a little comic book strip kind of thing.
Yeah,
awesome.
No, it's great. It'll be a lot of fun. And
LANs are always fun. I feel like there's like a cool vibe where it's just you get all the clubs together. They all host something that kind of shows off the personality of their club. And it's always you see a lot of different faces, especially if you're someone that is accustomed to only coming to one club. Coming to the LAN let you experience just the vibes and personalities of all the other clubs. You get to meet a bunch of people. You get to play a bunch of different games. So I always have fun whenever I come to LANs. And
by the way, just so you guys know, watching the stream, if you are watching this live right now, instead of maybe listening to this when I edit it up later and post it as the first episode somewhere, you are more than welcome to talk to us in the chat. Ask some questions. I've got the chat open live here, so we are happy to answer any questions you guys have that we can answer. It's apparently not epic, but still.
Yeah.
Throw the questions in the chat. We will make sure I'll have someone type it in there that you can absolutely throw some questions in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them. But we've had some big events for our clubs recently. I know recently, even Smash Ultimate, you guys went to Big House, right?
Yeah. There was a competitive, our varsity team went to Big House, and boy, did they show out. Our varsity team, and then also some club members. But yeah, a lot of big performances. One notable one, just to start us off, Aster, who is a freshman at MSU, a Greninja main, actually upset the number 1 player in Kentucky, Wilds.
Really?
Yeah, the number 1 player in Kentucky. He's a Kazuya player, and Aster definitely wasn't seeded to beat him, but in I believe a Game 5 thriller was able to clutch it out. So that was a big performance for him.
That's impressive. We got a question in the chat. What's up? Are you guys in the ComArts I building? Absolutely, we are.
Yeah,
we are live from the ComArts I building, and we're going to be here until 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So at the earliest is 6 p.m. It could go as late as 7, depending on how things go.
Yeah.
Little funny ad break, but you'll figure it out. Yes, we are in the ComArts I building. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
But yeah, so for those, maybe for those who aren't so into Smash, what is Big House?
How
big is this event?
Yeah. So Big House is a kind of like a celebration of gaming in a sense. It's more so mainly Super Smash Bros. Melee focus, just because they have a lot of roots in the Big House. They've always put on some spectacular performances, but they also do have a bunch of other games, including Smash Ultimate. I know they ran Splatoon. They'll run...
Splatoon didn't get run this year at Big
Splatoon
House?
didn't get run, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Riptide,
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, they do run a bunch of other games. Actually, let me see what other games they run.
Yeah.
Just to be...
But it's like, it's one of the biggest majors in like the Great Lakes area.
Yeah. Definitely the premier like tournament for Michigan. Specifically.
And then it's just like how we essentially get Big House, and then Ohio gets Riptide.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an amazing event. I'm honestly really impressed with our varsity team. They showed up.
Yeah, they showed up. And then so moving forward, we had probably one of the biggest performances of the tournament, even though another one of our players outplaced him, was Rydra, who got, I believe, like 25th, I think. But his big performance was that he upset one of the best, if not the best, Palutena player in the world, Louis Money.
Really?
Yeah, in I believe, Game 5 Thriller, upset him. Ridley versus Palutena. And the funny thing is, Palutena destroys Ridley.
Yeah, I know. It's a terrible matchup.
It's a terrible matchup. But what Rydra has to his credit is a lot of practice with another MSU varsity player, Arcdy. Good old Arcdy. He is the best Palutena player in Michigan, and he and Rydra.
Peru.
Yeah, also in Peru. He's a top player in Peru as well. Gives Rydra a lot of practice during their like varsity practices each week. So Rydra definitely has a lot of experience in that matchup, which is what, of course, prepared him to be able to make that upset. But yeah, that was definitely one of the, probably the biggest upset of the tournament, honestly. One of the more hype sets of the tournament for sure.
What games does the club participate in? Well, ECA as a whole is actually a club association. So we actually run all of the different, we help support all of the different esports clubs here at MSU. So right now we've got 14 clubs under our belt.
Yep.
We've got Counter-Strike. We've got Overwatch. We've got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Super Smash Bros. Melee. We've got a Pokemon club. We've got a Yu-Gi-Oh club. We've got Magic the Gathering. We've got real-time strategy games, or RTS, League of Legends,
and
Splatoon, Valorant. Who else am I forgetting? There's a few more I'm forgetting. I'm sure of it.
Did you say Yu-Gi-Oh?
I did say Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
I said Pokemon as well. He's pulling it up right now.
Yeah. RTS, we said.
What was that? Halo. Halo's
yep.
one of them. Rocket League. And one more.
One more.
I'm sure. I named.
Throw it in chat if you know what it is. The last one.
Before we find it.
So many though. Let's see. ECA.
It's like I'm impressed that I was able to get like 11 of them. Essentially.
Yeah. That is a lot. Let's see.
I'm also running off of no sleep over the past like 19 hours, so bear with me.
Let's see.
COD, not COD, unfortunately. No, we do have some players run COD. We do have non-club games in the main Discord. FGC. How did I forget FGC?
FGC. Because it's a conglomerate of games.
Like Mum Bash, bro. How did I forget FGC?
There we go.
Okay, I'm also embarrassed I forgot FGC.
No. But yeah, a lot of clubs.
And we
so
have
many
non-club
you could
games
forget.
too. We've got like a couple rhythm games. Rainbow Six Siege is another non-club game. We have them competing in some tournaments as well.
There's Apex Legends non-club game, Destiny 2, Call of Duty, Mario Kart,
sports games,
Team Fortress 2,
rhythm games. There's a lot of stuff we do, and really our job as ECA is to help kind of support those clubs and getting the ground running, getting the spaces they need, getting the events they need, and also running big events like this.
Exactly.
And also, like the land.
Like the MSU land. November 11th in this building, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m.
going to be great.
It's going to
be
great.
Free entry.
Free entry.
A lot of
Just
events.
show up.
We're going to be releasing more info about that schedule later on, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff ECA does. And in case you haven't really gotten a chance to meet us, in case you weren't able to tune in, again, my name is Max. I am, or MCD573, and I'm the broadcast director for ECA here.
And I am Aaron Adira, or Zones is my tag. And I am the public relations manager, you could say, for ECA, newly elected. This is like my third week on the job on the board, and it's been great so far. There has been a lot of everyone's been welcoming. Everyone has been really cool. A lot of cool people within the ECA that, especially in this new crop that has come in, kind of to take the reins.
You worked PR previously for Smash Ultimate. Actually,
Yep.
Yeah.
Currently still on the board.
And then also, if you look a little bit back further in the VOD, or also throughout the charity stream, you'll have also gotten to meet our lovely Director of Operations and Engagement, Declan, our President-elect, Kylie, our Vice President, Peter, also known as Motto, and I think those are all the people who have shown up. Oh, you also got to meet Kang, our Events Director. He showed up for a little bit. And I think that is everyone you met. We have Lily, our secretary, who isn't here, and Darren, our treasurer, who has not gotten a chance to make it today. But
yeah,
amazing crew. Can any student join the Discord? Not just any student, any non-student can also join the Discord as well. Anyone who wants to be a part of the gaming community here at MSU is more than welcome to join the Discord. Again, discord.gg/ECA of MSU, just like the Twitch channel. Take you directly there. You learn all about the different clubs, and we have a club directory, which is essentially a big hub for you to join any different club you'd like.
And actually, a question I had for you, Max, is, so take us through kind of the history of ECA. How did it come about? When did it come about?
It came about way before I was a student here. So
cool.
I'm a junior right now, so I've been here since fall of 21. I was elected to broadcast manager in spring of 22, so my second semester I've been working as broadcast director for about 2 years now. Previously, it was big. It's been going on for a good, probably close to maybe 7-8 years now.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Wow. Maybe even longer than that, maybe closer to 10, depending on how far back you look. Because previously, unlike today, there was no esports program officially sanctioned by MSU. It was all run by students. And just this year is when we started to actually have a true varsity esports team supported by the university, getting scholarships. We have our amazing esports director, Coach Bilski, all of the extra coaches that we're hiring on, like Coach Lunges or Coach Harding. But yeah, we have, it's overall grown. We did events like this previously. We've done at least one LAN every year. We try to do 2 every year. 2 big LAN events, and we just recently started doing these charity live streams. Last year, so our LANs used to be for charity. But now we've kind of turned them into a more casual event for everyone to kind of come together and enjoy gaming here at MSU. And in the wake of the tragedy on February 13th here at Michigan State, that was when we did our first 24-hour charity live stream for the Spartan Strong Fund. And so me and the previous president, Dylan McCarroll, awesome guy, by the way, Geedy, if you're watching, we love you, man, we miss you. But essentially, me and him spent at least a week, probably close to a month, planning out a giant 24-hour stream dedicated to supporting that Spartan Strong Fund. We raised over $5,000.
Yeah, that was a great event.
$5,000 for that fund.
Super successful.
Probably one of the biggest events of our lives. It was really fun, and those LANs are kind of just have slowly become a place for everyone to just come together and just have fun. Like every single year we've had Guitar Hero rooms. We did a Among Us game.
That was so fun.
We're going to be bringing that back next semester when Declan can actually make it this time. We have a bunch of casual events. Smash Bros. Always done something fun. FGC does a thing called Mutton Bash, where you spin a wheel full of fighting games and also things like Wii Boxing. And essentially, it's just a lot of fun. And it's like, overall, we've kind of, while we still do participate in the competitive side of things, we've kind of more grown, instead of just focusing so much on esports to focusing on gaming as a whole here, and just creating a really welcoming community for anyone, whether they're an MSU student or not, to show up, have fun, and play the games they love. it's been amazing. It's an experience that I don't think I'll ever forget, even after I'm gone.
Yeah.
From MSU, after I graduate. It's
Yeah.
an experience that's changed my life.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think there's something to be said just about like when students come together and they want to do something cool for something they love, which is gaming. You built a lot of strong organizations, a lot of passion. You get a lot of awesome events when people genuinely want to do something cool, and put on events that they believe in.
Yeah. We got a question in the chat. Item box.
Item box, yeah.
Item box. Be running at this LAN?
Will it be running at this LAN? TBD. Smash Club will make an announcement on what we will be running for the LAN soon.
They're running something.
We are running something. TBD. But it might be item box. Probably will be item box.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, item box is something that Smash Club ran last year, which was essentially like a big box with a lot of different possibilities. It's kind of like the FGC
like
thing.
Bash.
Yeah,
Mutton
Bash.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smash hit. Yeah.
Nice pun.
Yeah.
As an added bonus, before we kind of dive a little bit further, let's do a recap of what we've gotten done so far here at the charity stream.
Yeah.
So far, just again from stream donations alone, right now I believe we're at 216 directly online donations, and we including some in-person donations that we had done to affect the charity stream, naming by players playing in the CS. 10 mans earlier, which we'll go into detail about. We have $236 about raised from stream alone.
Yep.
And then Smash Club, we're running the charity, the tournament for charity as well, added about an extra $450. So we are very close to $700 raised, which, considering we're not in the wake of a tragedy, and considering that we are also on a MSU football game day,
right,
and the day leading up to that, I'd say that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is astounding.
I'm still very, very happy with how this is going.
For sure.
What events have we had so far?
Yeah. So
why don't you go over it for us?
Yeah. So starting off with Super Smash Bros. Club, we had a what we like to call a PR event or PR weekly, which is basically so in the state of Michigan there is like a ranking system, as in most states in the U.S. for Super Smash Brothers, and in order to be eligible for that ranking system, there's like certain requirements you have to meet. And for this week, Smash Club, we met those requirements because we have a paid to enter kind of format where we did $10 goes directly to the charity that we're sponsoring, Gamers Outreach, and then $5 to the prize pot. And so, yeah, we had a pretty big event, 40 entrants. Nice. Some of our varsity players came out. There was a lot of gaming. A lot of fun there.
Who ended up taking that down? We didn't get to see it on the stream.
So the winner for that was Dice. The Falco main, I believe, like number 4 or 3 on the most previous Michigan Smash PR power
and
rankings.
He's also part of MSU's A team, the varsity team.
Part of the MSU varsity team. Yep. He and ArcD were the ones in grand finals, who is also ArcD, like we mentioned before.
Also, big shout out to ArcD. Bro took his prize money and donated it during the Tarkov section of the stream. He got a Lucky Scav junk box named after.
Oh, nice.
He named it Peruvian Roar. It was
Let's
funny.
go.
But
that's awesome.
Really big shout out to him.
Taking
that money that you just won and throwing it directly back to charity. That's awesome.
What a guy. What a
guy.
And
after that, we send it directly over to CS2 Team Mans. We had a bunch of fun incentives. Essentially, $1 lets you pick some guns. $5 lets you force a team to do a strat. $10 lets you add a rule for a game.
Yeah.
And so as that first game, I had the 3 players that were playing in-house walk up to me, put a $10 bill in my hand, and said nobody gets any audio for the first game.
Yeah.
They disabled audio entirely. Nobody heard a darn thing besides what was in the Discord call. It was insane to watch, you know. What such a wonderful event for us all, and we could not be happier.
Yeah. I was watching the Counter-Strike, and I'm not a Counter-Strike player, but I was watching it and I was thinking, this definitely looks insane. There was like some side to side. Someone donated that you can't use the W button,
and then somebody donated that you could use the S button.
Yeah. So it was just awkward movement funny gameplay.
AD only.
Yeah.
AD only. It was great.
Yeah.
And during that game as well, we also had nothing but frag grenades for your util. And of course, people donated all the time to see, knife only, Zeus only, shotguns only. That was fun. And then the third game that we did, we had another in-person donation for no reloading. So if they ran out of bullets, they had to drop their gun. They could not reload it. And also, later on, we had a rule of no rifles were allowed to be bought. And the rule was, if you got a knife kill, you were allowed to buy 1 rifle.
Okay.
And then, almost to counteract that, we had a person donate $10 for 10 rounds of knives.
Okay. Nice.
It was very, very funny. But that was a wonderful event. And then immediately after that, we went over to Rocket League, where Declan, or Orca Melon, our DOE, and one of the Rocket League staff, Troy, they got to play together on stream for a bit. We had a couple donations for them to use keyboard and mouse only, or to use a really silly car. And they went and played everything from soccer to hoops to drop shot. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Nice.
Moving on from that, we then had a Magic the Gathering arena stream, which started with just Finn, and then I decided to join in, and Finn and I played a couple matches against each other, and it was fun.
Nice.
I ended up milling him out a few times. It was very, very enjoyable. Immediately after that, we got sent over to Peter's Tarkov stream, where Peter just went around, and he had some interesting donation incentives. So for those who don't know Escape from Tarkov, it's a really, really punishing looter shooter, essentially, kind of like a roguelike. If you die, you lose everything that's on you.
Okay.
No getting it back. So essentially, there are other people in the lobby that are going to be trying to kill you, right? Or that you might want to try and kill them. And everything's audio-based, because you can hear everything around you to figure out where people are. It's super realistic, a lot of fun. So Peter had a few donation incentives. A couple were hit. The one that ArcD did, he got a case named after him. So that until the end of this wipe, that Lucky Scav junk box will be named Peruvian Roar in his honor. But also, a few times, Peter had to shoot his entire magazine into the air.
Okay.
And essentially just reveal his position to everybody.
Yeah. That must have created some interesting interactions.
Oh, yeah. Definitely died a few times, but there were some times he had to fight a few times. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then just before this, it was me and a group of some folks playing good old Bloons Tower Defense 6.
Nice. How was that?
That was a lot of fun. I did an impoppable run first on my own. And I ended up dying at around 95 out of 100 due to, DDT spam, which is essentially a very, very fast blimp that is immune to being hit by sharp objects, and you need to be able to sense camo in order to see it.
That sounds difficult to deal with.
It is very, very difficult to deal with. But then, me and a couple of the Pokemon Club folks, and one of them, being Mason, our art director, joined in for a run at the new Boss Balloon event, which was called Phase. Essentially, it's this big boss balloon that essentially, instead of just trying to pop it, you have to whittle down its health. Okay. And it has a lot of health. Okay. The harder you get, every single time you defeat it, it goes up a tier, and your goal is to defeat tier 5.
Okay.
Essentially, what happened was we had we went up to tier 4. We did pretty well. It was a lot of fun. Co-op, so it was a lot of strategy involved. And we then we went to tier 5. It was rough. We couldn't get it. But tier 4, we were pretty happy with. We had some fun donation incentives planned. $10 could force one of us to sell any tower of the viewer's choice. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. But it would have been really, really funny. And now we're here.
Yeah. Now we are here. What
do we got on the docket for
after this? Let's see. After this, I believe. So we're here until around 9 or 10. And then directly after this, we'll have Splatoon, which I don't know what they have planned, but I personally love Splatoon. Splatoon is one of my favorite franchises. I think it's so unique and so fun. A great soundtrack. So I'm excited. Absolutely. I'm excited for that. And then
they're changing their plans based off of how many people show up. So
Okay.
essentially, come time off, we'll find out.
Okay.
Also, we have a joke in the chat. Why can't you use beef stew as a password? Because it's not stroganoff.
Because it's not Stroganoff. That makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
That makes sense.
What's after Splatoon?
Yeah, and after Splatoon, we'll have Pokemon TCG, which could you explain that? I'm not exactly sure what they're
So
doing.
that is essentially what we're doing. Is we're just doing some show matches. So
Okay.
we're playing the game, but at the same time, there's going to be a few little incentives here and there.
Okay.
Like $1 for every $1 you donate. If you choose to do this, you can put 10 damage on any Pokemon you want.
Okay.
And there's also nothing stopping the players from donating too.
Right.
$5 will let you pick which Pokemon are in the active spot, the ones that can get damaged.
Okay.
$10 will force one or both of the players to shuffle their hand, put it on the bottom of their deck, and draw new cards.
Ooh. Okay.
So essentially, let's just imagine a player, just used an ability to grab whatever card they wanted out of their deck. $10, gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. That sounds hectic and fun. And then directly after that at 2 p.m. we'll have Dr. Thompson's speed runs.
Yes.
Which I'm excited to see what games he plays.
I believe we have Chrono Trigger on the docket.
Okay. Okay. That sounds fun. What kind of game is that?
Mm.
No. Yeah. Okay.
We'll find out.
Well, we'll find out. That would be interesting to see. And then after that at 4 p.m. we'll have Overwatch.
They're doing a show match between themselves and UMich.
Okay. Cool. Nice. So we'll be rooting for them. Of course, it is game day, so we'll be rooting for them. And then we'll be closing it at 6:30, roughly.
Just a reminder for those of you who maybe are not going to be here physically. Also, Comfy Boys is running today.
Yeah.
2
Comfy
p.m.
Boys.
to 7 p.m. It's going to be in the Snyder Phillips Pillar Room, which is essentially in the basement of Snyder Phillips. If you need help finding it, join the Discord, discord.gg/ECA of MSU, and ping someone. We'll help you find it. We'll help you get there.
Yep.
Really fun. We're going to have some bring your own console stuff. I believe we are having snacks.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good time.
It'll be a good time for sure.
It is
you're
literally
on
just meant to be
campus-
a comfy event.
Yeah. If you're on campus, I definitely recommend showing up. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of friendly faces, good vibes. So for sure, if you're in the area, pull up.
Absolutely. Yes. Now, we talked about Big House. Let's talk about something else that one of our clubs got to recently do. We've had over the past 3 months, myself and a couple of other members of the Pokemon Club, we have traveled to 3 different regional championships.
Really? Okay.
I went to 2 of them.
Okay.
Most of us went to 2 of them. Nobody went to all 3, I don't think.
Okay.
But we went to one in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We had one in Peoria, Illinois.
Okay.
And then most recently, actually just a couple weeks ago, we had one in Toronto,
Wow.
Ontario. So actually up a little bit in Canada. And essentially it's an extremely fun event. Pokemon really knows how to do their stuff. They have trading card game, which all of us competed in. A couple of us also competed in VGC, which is the Video Game Championship, so Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And then there's also, nobody in our group competed in that, but we also had Pokemon Go.
Wow.
They also have Pokemon Go there.
That's
because
cool.
they have Go PvP and stuff like that.
Okay. Cool.
We had a few notable finishes, mainly at Pittsburgh. At Pittsburgh, one of our members, June Norbert, she was part of the Balloon Tower Defense 6 stream. She actually made it to day 2 of Pittsburgh.
Nice.
And ended up placing in, I believe it was either top 256 or top 128. Got a lot of points to qualify for the World Championships.
Wow.
And I myself, after I got knocked out at day 1, I competed in the side event, which essentially was a single step below that, a cup, if you will. It's the step right below regional championship. Got 28th.
Wow.
So I also got a decent chunk of points there as well. So
sounds
the
cool.
whole regional was about 2,000 players, and the side event I competed in was about 200.
Okay.
So both of us
Yeah.
ended up making it to about top 10% when we competed in that.
Okay. That sounds like a huge event.
It was. And then Peoria, much of the same. Again, huge event, 1,700 at that one.
Okay.
Nobody made it to day 2. We had a few really close finishes, a couple of people losing their win and ins for day 2, but overall, again, really fun. Toronto came by. We had some affiliates of ours from around the area, around the Lansing area, that we show up with. Actually, one of them made it to top 64.
Wow.
And one of them that is actually very close with us actually made it to 52nd and started the day in 7th place overall.
Wow.
Out of 1,500.
That's
7th
crazy.
place overall.
That's crazy. No, I'm not really familiar with like competitive Pokemon, I guess. If that's even what you would call it.
That's a fair way to call it.
Okay. Is the scene more of like grassroots? Is it more of like, do they get a lot of like backing by, I don't know?
They are backed directly by TPCI.
Okay.
Pokemon
Wow.
Company International.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
That's
then they
awesome.
have sponsors from vendors come out, and
Okay.
a lot of there are 3 main ones that run the events in the U.S.
Okay.
The 2 ones that hosted the events that we went to were Overload events and Day 2 events, which are both essentially big sponsors that are responsible for renting out the rooms, providing staffing, stuff like that.
Okay.
And TPCI provides prize support.
Okay.
So essentially, everyone who made it to top 32 and above got $1,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Top 32 and above.
Top 32 and
That's
above got
crazy.
$1,000.
Wow. That
for
must be,
every single one of those regionals.
Wow. That's insane. Okay.
Winner of each of those regionals, I believe. Let me double check.
Okay.
I want to make sure that I get this correct because it's an insane prize pool.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like, I like back before quarantine when like Fortnite was like at its apex and they were getting like the winners were getting like $1 million.
Absolutely, yeah. So,
but yeah.
The main draw for a lot of those players is to qualify for the World Championships every year. You need a certain number of what are called championship points.
Okay.
So the better you do with these events, the more championship points you earn. This year, if you are a person over the age of 15 in North America, you need 600 points.
Okay.
Or you need to win a regional.
Okay.
A regional gets you an instant win, instant in, and you're good to go. You're in World Championships.
Okay.
If you don't win one, or you don't win one of the international championships, you need to qualify by getting points.
Okay.
So, but for those regional championships, the winner received $10,000.
Wow.
Second place, $7,000.
Wow.
Third and fourth, $5,000. Fifth through eighth, $3,000. 9 through 16, $2,000. 17 through 32, $1,000.
Wow.
And they even awarded cash prizes in the form of scholarships or Visa gift cards to those under the age of 15 as well, although a bit less. The winners of both of the younger divisions each got $2,500.
Wow.
As a kid under the age of 15.
Yeah, that's insane. That's big money.
That's big money.
That is big money. I don't even know what I would have done with that much money under 15.
Yeah. And like it was a lot.
Yeah.
But, it's a lot of fun. Those events were awesome, and honestly, we could not be happier that we were able to go to those.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like Pokemon Club's got a lot going for it.
We've got a lot. We've essentially Pokemon Club kind of just restarted itself over the past year.
Yeah,
we kind of got started last spring semester.
And was that I know the current sitting president for Pokemon Club, Alex,
is also the current sitting president for Smash.
For Smash, yeah. I remember when she was wanted to take up being president of Pokemon Club, was really excited about it.
I was even VP for one of the semesters.
Okay,
yeah.
cool, yeah.
For really a full year, yeah.
Yeah, and that club is just kind of like exploding in popularity.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like
we have like 250 members in the Discord.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like that.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's Pokemon. Everyone loves Pokemon.
Who
doesn't love Pokemon, honestly?
Yeah. No, but there's a whole bunch of fun events that we do. Like, I'm the event director now, so I get to run most of them. We've done Pokemon Jeopardy.
Cool.
We also did, it's really good, and I have a program that makes it awesome.
Okay.
And then we also recently did, this is probably a little bit obscure to those of you who aren't super into like trivia game shows. We did a rendition of the British game show Only Connect.
Okay.
For Pokemon. Essentially, what you have to do is find the connection between 4 clues.
Okay.
And it could be really anything. It's a lot of fun, but we do a ton of fun events like that. We've done TCG tournaments in the past. We've done we have this big gym challenge. It's like it's exploded in popularity. And you want to know what other club that has recently joined has also exploded in popularity? Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay,
Yu-Gi-Oh's exploded in popularity.
Okay.
Like they are running events for like pack prizing.
Okay.
Like they have a prize pool, and it is impressive. Like they average like maybe 20 people, and they even stream it. sometimes.
Okay.
Which is
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm very just excited for some of these clubs in ECA. Definitely just putting a lot of effort into their clubs, and it's showing and they're paying off.
The future is bright.
The future is bright. Yeah, very excited. Yeah, I want to I kind of grew up as a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh. I haven't been able to come to any of their meetups so far this semester just because I've been so busy. But I would love to go over there and see what they got going on.
Yeah, they will be running an event at the LAN, I hear.
Okay,
so.
Cool. Yeah.
It's your opportunity.
Again, plug for the LAN. You get to play some Yu-Gi-Oh.
November 11th.
Free. November 11th. From 12 p.m.
10?
Yep, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah. Also, a quick plug to those of you watching live. This is still a 24-hour charity live stream for the Gamers Outreach Foundation. We aren't offering any incentives right now because it's a podcast.
Yeah.
But later on down the line, there's going to be incentives galore. If at any point you do feel like you wish to donate, it's going to an amazing cause. Gamers Outreach Foundation essentially focuses on improving patient comfort in hospitals by providing them outlets of entertainment like video games, consoles, stuff like that to essentially make their stay a little bit more comfortable. It's a great cause, ! Charity. If you can donate anything, even if it is later down the line when there are more fun incentives to let you affect things, we do humbly appreciate every single little bit that you are willing to donate. And we are not keeping a penny of it. Everything is going directly to them. So yeah, no commission, no nothing. It's just if you feel generous and you want to donate and maybe have some fun while doing it, this is the place.
Yep. Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting.
For sure.
We got a couple other things that we can talk about. One of them was speaking of CS show matches and speaking of CS2, the CS2 club a couple of weeks ago, early October, did a show match.
Okay. Yep.
Against UMich.
They did.
And UMich drove up here, and we did it as a LAN. It was streamed. The VOD is still live. You can watch it now. Don't watch it now though.
Yeah.
We're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Watch it later.
Yeah, watch
You'll
it
have
later.
fun.
Save it or something.
Yeah, save it for later.
Yeah.
But unfortunately they didn't end up taking it, but it was still a fun event. Both teams came together really well. Me and the CSGO president, Jalapena, are both good friends with the esports president over at UMich, Caden or Mad. And so we were really happy to make that kind of come together. It was a fun event. We had a lot of audience interaction. It was great. And we had two amazing casters to aid in that. So it was wonderful.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome seeing CS doing just things on the competitive side, making sure their players are getting the competitive gameplay in and practice in. We'd love to see more of that.
Yeah, they are competing in NACE right now.
Okay, cool.
Fall semester.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We'll see how they all go. I'm on one of the teams.
Okay, cool, nice.
So we'll see how we all do. Yeah, that was that. Next up, I think, what else? There is a little bit about the future of ECA.
Okay, yeah. So, ECA, as we mentioned, a few new faces on the board, a lot of vision for the board. I know me personally, as the new public relations representative, I just want to be able to kind of, shine a light on some of these newer clubs, some of the smaller clubs, and just get a light on what they're doing. As you've heard, a lot of clubs seem to be doing a lot so far. We heard about Pokemon Club traveling out to competitive international events or regional events. Heard about Yu-Gi-Oh! And their seems like 20 person prize packs. You said, yep.
And Big House.
And Big House sending out players for Super Smash Bros. To Big House. So I just want to continue to shine a light on what these clubs are doing.
This is one of the visions that we had to do that.
Yeah, and this is one of the big visions is this podcast. As far as the podcast, I mean, like we said, we want to use it as just a platform to shine a light on these clubs and what everyone's doing. Maybe each week, we haven't really decided how often we're going to be doing episodes, but this is one of the big visions. I think as long as you're putting the effort to like try out new things, whether or not it's successful or not. It's just as long as you are putting the effort to do new things, it's always a good sign.
And something else, I do know that Coach Bilski wants to come on and maybe have some of the varsity players, whether it be for Valorant or for Smash, come on and chat with us about how the varsity side of things is going on.
Yeah. Speaking of the varsity, I know that the Michigan State Esports department has been making some signings for players for, I believe,
Val and Rocket League, right?
Yeah, Valorant and Rocket League are what I remember seeing. So yeah, they're putting in a lot of work over at the esports department to get a lot of talent here, and it's paying off. I mean, I know even for the Super Smash Bros. Side of things, there's a lot of work getting new players here. Like for instance, I know Coach Bilski had a huge part in getting Adira here, the player that I mentioned earlier, who had a big showing at Big House. He's just kind of like taken Michigan by storm.
You know who else I've heard rumors about? Jaja.
Yeah, Jaja has come over to Michigan. I believe, I don't want to say they're an MSU student.
I don't think they are yet, but I think they're still prospective.
Okay, prospective. Okay, yeah.
Prospective.
Yeah, I've been hearing rumors. Okay, honestly, I've been hearing rumors about a lot of players, but I don't know which ones I should
The only ones that we can confirm is Rydra.
Yeah, we can only confirm
obviously
Rydra.
The other people I know, like Suspect Dice, Mark D.
Who are students enrolled and all that. Yeah. But yeah, they've been hard at work signing players. Drewish, another player.
Yes, Drewish.
Former PR Politano player, top 2 Politano player in Michigan.
Only beaten by ArcD.
Yeah, only beaten by ArcD.
Another MSU.
We have both of the top Politano players at MSU, so.
We're just built different.
Yeah, we're built different, honestly. The MSU Esports department has been hard at work. They put on one of the biggest, I would say, outside of Big House, the biggest tournament in Michigan of the year, back to Smash.
Yeah, it was a Tier C, I think, according to Lumi ranks.
According to Lumi rank, a Tier C ranked event.
It was great. We had some extremely talented casters. We had Dancer come out.
Dancer did come out.
Maximus was there.
Emma,
I forget her tag. Emma was there. Starts with an F.
Yeah. Bart. Yeah.
Bart was one of them. There's more.
And then I was also on the casters slot for that as well.
Yeah.
I was. Me and Dancer. That was my first time commentating with Dancer. That was fun.
Let me also pull up because I know there was one more that
I think there was one more.
I remember him.
And Mr. Monday was also.
Mr. Monday was one of them. There's
Mr. Monday was on there.
That I really don't want to miss because he was also amazing, and I want to make sure he gets credit for what he did.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It's a bit of scrolling because we've been doing so much.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive.
I can't even find the Back to Smash server, but.
Well, I can just scroll down to the discussion of who did what.
Yeah.
We have. We had Maximus. We had Finesse.
Finesse. One of the shout out to Finesse, by the way. One of the just rising stars of commentary in Michigan. I know he's been putting in a lot of work in Michigan. So yeah, shout out to him.
So it was yourself. It was Beehart, Emma, Maximus, Finesse, and Dancer.
Yep. As well as Mr. Monday, who wasn't.
As well as Mr. Monday, who got credit as well.
Yep.
But it was a honor to have them all here, and we actually ran it through the organization that operates a TV station just a couple of rooms down the hall. WKAR.
Yeah.
The local Lansing TV station.
Yeah, they definitely helped us a lot on the production side of things. Just to make the event as professional as possible, as legitimate as possible, which it was. It was a phenomenal event, and definitely more of that in the future. I know they're planning, or they have announced, which unfortunately got pushed back due to Nintendo Community Guidelines, Pantheon, which will be, I guess, now Pantheon 2024, which they have a bunch of top talent coming out. Paulo Kage was announced for that. I believe, let me see some of the other players.
It's also going to be, day 2 is going to be at Spartan Stadium.
Yeah, at Spartan Stadium, which is incredible.
That's just nuts.
Yeah.
Like, What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like a football stadium?
Yeah, and I know other colleges have had events in their either basketball or football stadiums, but you gotta understand, Spartan Stadium is a Big Ten stadium.
It is a Big Ten
that
stadium.
Is definitely probably the biggest stadium
that has ever hosted.
That has ever hosted a.
Because like it's called Big House, but it isn't hosted in the Big House.
Yeah, it's not hosted in the Big House.
It's not hosted in the Big House.
Yeah. So
it'd be cool if it was. But
yeah, but it's not.
So we're going to be the first. I think we are probably going to be the first Big Ten university to host a esports event in a football stadium.
Yeah, which is
out of all the Big Ten universities.
Yeah, and so it's going to be insane. Like I said, a lot of top talent coming out. Let me get that the current pool of competitors.
Smash event. It will be more than just Smash.
Yeah, it will be more than just Smash, I believe.
We will have Smash Ultimate, obviously. I know we are also doing Smash Melee. Are we doing Strive?
I'm pulling up right now. So Street Fighter 6 singles.
Street Fighter 6?
Yeah, that looks like it'll be so Smash Ultimate singles, of course, Street Fighter 6 singles, Melee singles, Smash Ultimate doubles, and then Smash Ultimate or Smash Melee doubles
and
as
then
well.
Also, it's a side event. I know it's
and
been
Melee
discussed
singles.
before, hasn't been confirmed yet. I do believe we are also going to be running a Pokemon VGC and TCG side event as well.
Oh, that sounds sick.
So,
yeah.
And it will be officially sanctioned because yours truly is a level 1 judge.
Nice. Level 1 judge for
Pokemon.
Is that Pokemon? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
There's 3 levels. It's basic, stage 1, stage 2, and I'm level 1. So
okay, cool. Yeah. Nice.
No, it should be a great event.
Yeah. They already have 194 entrants signed up. Yeah, like I said, so they got Skittles, who is one of the top young links, already signed up. Icy Mist, who is probably the best Samus player in North America. Apollo Kage, as I mentioned before. Geist, who is one of the top 5 Bayonettas in the world at this point. A top, I think, best player in Ohio for sure.
And I'm sure we're going to see Pocket and
Pocket
again.
Pocket and Zenodo both signed up, of course.
Onan, formerly known as Naka, now Pocket. I think last time the world PRs came out, it was 6.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah. That was
all time, not just a character. Period.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah. That was I believe that was a 2022 ranking, but yeah, formerly top 6. That's insane. Yeah. Insane. Currently, I believe top 30 ranked. Yeah. Currently, but yeah.
It's top 3 in the world.
Yeah, in the world is insane.
And he comes to our weekly sometimes.
Yeah. He pulled up to what was it? The previous Spartan.
Was it 123?
It was not 123. Let me see here. Smash. We can go to tournament results. It was 119.
119. Yeah,
it was
so
yeah.
That was 5 ago.
Yeah, well, 5 weeks ago. So yeah, he shows up.
He shows up
weeklies. So
and shows out.
And shows out. And shows out for sure. So yeah. Pantheon,
he also won back to Smash.
Yeah, he also won back to Smash. He wins I think he's won every single Michigan regional that's happened this year. He won back to Smash. He won Big House.
Yeah, he won Big House.
2 weeks ago or whatever it was.
He's won all the PR weeklies he's attended.
Mm-hmm. He won Spartan Circus in April of this year.
Did he win Crossroads?
He did not come to Crossroads.
He did not come to Crossroads.
So, yeah, if he doesn't come, he doesn't win. But when he comes, he wins. So, yeah. If he's entered in a Michigan bracket, he's likely to win it.
And if he's not there, but Zenodo is.
Yeah, then Zenodo most likely will win it. Yeah, so.
That's what happens when you have 2 of the top players in your state.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of, Smash.
It's a very similar thing for Pokemon. I think about. We also have one of the best players in the world. He won the Europe International Championships. Wow. Alex Shabansky.
Okay. For MSU?
Not MSU.
Okay.
He's just in Michigan area.
Michigan. Okay.
I've talked to him quite a bit. Great guy.
Okay.
But like we have some of the top players in here. Like just, it's insane. Like the level of stuff that you see in terms of like, it's just such a small world. Like you see, you're like, oh, I'll never meet these amazing people. This guy just won a major. He won an international championship, and then they just show up at your local, and you're like,
it's esports. I feel like, and especially like Michigan in general. I've been saying this for a while. Like Michigan esports it's so competitive, and we're quickly rising, especially with like all of the backing we're getting by whether it be universities or what have you. Just a lot of attention is coming to Michigan as far as all things esports.
And you want to know the worst part? We're still slept on.
No, we're still slept on. We're still doubted. We're
slept on.
still. Yeah.
Everyone's like, nah, it's got to be California, New York.
Yeah. But no, Michigan, of all states, Michigan. Yeah. So
the mitten, the one with all the lakes.
Yeah, I'm not even from here. I'm from Ohio, but I have to admit, Michigan is doing it incredibly big, and we'll continue to prove the doubters wrong. For sure.
It's only gonna grow.
Yeah, it's only gonna grow. So yeah, I'm just super excited for all things esports as it pertains to Michigan.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we got a few non-ECA topics to talk about. So let's just start with the fact that there's a new Valorant agent out.
Okay, yeah, new Valorant agent.
So
I've been hearing.
I'm obviously more of a CS player, so I'm gonna pull up some information.
Okay, yeah, me as well, because I'm only a Smash player. I'm a dirty, sneaky.
I know a decent bit about Valorant, so I can at least touch on.
That's fair.
That.
That's fair.
So
okay.
That new agent. Let me see if I can pull it up. Valorant new agent, ISO.
ISO. Okay.
What was that?
Oh.
Oh well, I'm having now. So ISO, the new Valorant agent. So they're a duelist. So one of the, essentially the operators or agents that they call them in that game, expected to be a top fragger, like being self-sufficient killers. Essentially. So essentially, right now people are thinking he is a little bit underwhelming.
Okay.
Apparently his greatest strength is he has an ability that can make your enemies vulnerable.
Okay.
Which should be interesting. It essentially is all according to Forbes here, it's saying that the objective is to secure him kills. But they're saying right now there isn't a whole lot of team play to his kit.
Okay.
So it's like he can get a shield whenever he kills an enemy or gets an assist, which is pretty busted. But you can also pick up a shield, essentially. And then if you pick up that shield in a perfect timing, you can survive a headshot. Which is nuts.
Yeah, so here, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Would you say it's better for, like, say a new character is added to a game, would you say it's better for them to just be broken and super popular on release, or would you say it's better for the health of the game of, like, the characters to not be, like, super incredible or anything, but just, like, another character that maybe a certain demographic of player would like?
In my opinion, I think there is some merit to releasing overpowered characters, right? There is, but you can't do too much.
Yeah, you can't do it too much.
Like, okay, let's say you just start, like, I know some esports games and stuff like that essentially split their, like, kind of seasons, if you will, into years, and then like breaking up to whether they call it seasons, episodes, acts, stuff like that. I feel like if you do it during one of your bigger seasons, like once per year, then it's viable, and then kind of releasing middle of the road operators that, you know, have their purpose but don't maybe necessarily don't break it. Also, I have a comment in the chat about ISO. Don't forget the best part, Astra Smokes can interact with one of his abilities, either helping or hindering you. That's some interesting interaction to know about. But yeah, I think definitely having one strong character that builds hype is good for the longevity of a game. But and again, this only works for things that, like, you know, release characters. Like this doesn't happen in, like, CS, for example, because everyone uses the same utility. There's no operator agent. There's no special, like, characters. It's just
the weapons. Yeah.
Shoot the gun.
That makes sense.
The only thing you're getting is skins. But I think in games that introduce characters like this, it's good to have one character that builds, like, a lot of hype, because that, again, increases that longevity of the game. But if you release too many overpowered operators, people are just going to be like, why are we getting more and more broken ops when we haven't fixed the problems of the last one?
That makes sense. And I think also, like you mentioned longevity, I think also there's an aspect or an element to it of, like, releasing a broken character will get people talking about the game.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people will be hopping on the game just to see how broken this new character or new agent is. So yeah, that makes sense. Happy to hear that it's, like, more of a balanced character, this ISO character.
Yeah, it even seems like even more so than just balance. It feels a little bit underwhelming according to some people.
Yeah.
Unless you're using him entirely just for solo play.
So yeah.
But I mean, that was kind of the situation with Smash too, wasn't it? Like, I mean, we really only got like one. I mean, a lot of people were hyped around every character being added to Smash. Let's be real. But like realistically, I mean, Smash has always had a really good job of balancing its characters besides the obvious Meta Knight and Brawl.
Yeah, I feel like
Bayo in Smash 4.
Yeah. As far as balancing, I think Smash 4 people say like the finished product minus say Bayonetta and Cloud was generally a pretty balanced game, and then Smash Ultimate for sure. People would say like the general opinion and consensus of Smash Ultimate is that it is the most balanced Smash title. But
even more than Melee.
Yeah, even more than Melee, because Melee, while it is a smaller cast, there is only about 6 or 7 like competitive viable characters.
That's
whereas
fair,
there's
Fox exists.
Yeah, Fox exists. You got your Falcos, your Sheiks, Marths of the world. But that bottom half, your Donkey Kongs,
Your
Kirby's, Nesses, Links, all of them. Not as viable, but yeah, Ultimate for the size of the cast definitely is one of the more balanced ones.
And like, because like we've even seen like bottom, what are typically considered bottom tier by the community, end up going on to win tournaments.
Exactly,
like,
yeah. And there's always like changing opinions on characters too.
Absolutely.
Like I know
Byleth used to be considered terrible.
Yeah,
and
Byleth used to be considered
MK
like
Leo
great.
won a major with it.
Yeah.
And now,
multiple majors.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh my god, Byleth's top tier.
Yeah, even more recently, like one of the esports podcasts I watch is Tweak Talks.
Sure.
In which they were recently talking about Sora on their last episode. How Sora on launch, people were like, "Oh, not that great of a character," but one of the top Japanese players, Zachary, ended up winning a tournament like first week of Sora's release with Sora, and then just this past, I believe this past weekend or 2 weekends ago, another Sora ended up winning a tournament over the best player in the world, Akola, who plays Steve. Although I don't believe Akola played Steve against the Sora in the grand finals. I think they played Roy or someone else. But either way, Sora won another international major, both on release and as far as up to last week. So yeah, character opinions are always changing. And I think that just speaks to the balance of the game.
To touch on that, let's talk about something that I actually have heard you guys question previously for Smash events. How broken is Steve?
How broken is Steve? Steve is insanely, incredibly broken, and one of the probably top 5 most broken characters in all of Smash.
Would you say that he is worse than Smash Brawl Meta Knight?
I would, just for the simple fact of like the meta standpoint, right? Because in Smash Bros. Brawl, in order to win a tournament, you had to play Meta Knight, or you had to play a Meta Knight beating character, which I'm not super familiar with it, but I think like Olimar was pretty decent against Meta Knight. But yeah, everything revolves around Meta Knight in Smash Bros. Brawl competitive. So I feel
a lot of time Meta Knight's just banned.
Yeah, and a lot of times Meta Knight was
Meta Knight was meta, if you will.
Yeah, he was meta. Yeah, so I think as long as your game isn't dictated basically by one character, and like all strategies to win a tournament is based on beating that one character or playing that character, I think generally it's fine. I know a lot of the consensus among top players in Smash Ultimate is that it's better for the health of the game to not ban Steve, because if you ban Steve, which is what we've been seeing with some tournaments, like the most recent super major was Luminosity Makes Move Miami.
Yeah.
In which Steve was banned to that tournament, so the best player in the world, Akola, couldn't show up.
Yeah, because he's a Steve main.
And it led to Luminosity Makes Moves being a really hyped tournament. I mean, there was a lot of upsets in that tournament. It was definitely one of the more exciting tournaments of the year for sure. We had a lot of cool placements, a lot of standout performances. But I would say a lot of top players kind of are just underwhelmed in the sense that if the best player is playing Steve and they aren't allowed to come to NA events because Steve is now getting banned in NA events, then it's going to hinder those top players from being able to take the #1 spot because they can't beat the #1 player. And currently, Japan is the most powerful region, strongest, best region in the world. And if they have the best player, and they not only have the best player, they have the second best player, Mia, who is a Game & Watch player. He also secondaries Steve as well. So the top 2 players who both either main or secondary Steve don't even play in your region, then it's going to be very hard to take that #1 or #2 spot.
And then Pocket just pulled Steve out of his pocket.
Right. And Pocket plays Steve. So yeah, if they're not getting that Steve practice, it's gonna be very hard for them to kind of outplay some of these Steve players.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's even kind of been a little bit interesting in games like where there's a lot of balancing, because like in Smash there's not really many balancing patches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't had a balance patch in over a year, I believe, since Sora's release.
But in games like just most recently, like something that I've noticed, like in Rainbow Six, we just had a balancing patch where I'm not sure if you're familiar. There's a character called Frost.
Okay.
Essentially, what she does is she has these. She calls them. They're called welcome mats. They're essentially bear traps.
Okay.
So you essentially pry them open and put them down anywhere on the map. A lot of times it'll be behind a door or through a window you have to jump through. And essentially what it does is it snaps shut and it downs the character immediately. So you have to up them to get them back up.
Yeah.
And they recently changed her where a player can now self-revive from a frost trap.
Oh, that's...
And it is...
That makes
causing a bit of an uproar in the community because Frost was never like Frost has always been good. Don't get me wrong, but Frost was never broken.
Yeah,
like the Frost mats were never considered broken because, I mean, yes, they are easy to counter, but the goal is to kind of draw away line of sight or force you to use utility to get rid of them. Right? Either when you're jumping in a window, you have to look down with your gun and shoot it before it snaps on you, or you have to. And at that same time, you're risking getting shot. Or you have to jump through a window blind, hope there isn't a frost trap to try and get a shot off on another player. But if there's a frost trap, you're screwed anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, and even now, before the frost meta even changed, what I've noticed is a lot of players were using frost just as area denial and just kind of like sometimes even on flank watch, right? But now with that self revive, sure, it may reduce them down to 1 HP, so you can shoot them in the chest, but like headshot is a one-hit kill no matter what weapon you use in R6.
Okay.
So everyone's gonna be aiming for headshots unless you're just going for rate of fire, in which case, yeah, you'll go for body shots, sure. But it's like a lot of players I feel like don't feel like Frost needed that nerf.
Okay, yeah.
And it kind of almost makes me question, like, you know, if that's happening in certain games, like, why haven't we seen balancing patches occur in games where there's, like, a extremely dominant top character like Steve, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, my gut reaction to a character like that is we shouldn't need to ban them.
Yeah.
If they're grossly overpopulating the meta and making it so no other character can win, then balance them, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, why would we balance a character that was already balanced?
Right. Yeah. It's and I think a lot of it too comes down to your like the parent company's backing of the game.
Absolutely.
And whether or not they, frankly, care to to balance your game or are listening to the community, which unfortunately hasn't been the case with Nintendo and Smash Bros.
Yeah, unfortunately.
For the lifespan of most of the games, which is unfortunate. But yeah, there's been a lot of workarounds with the community. The community is very resilient. They tend to figure things out. The Smash Bros scene has been said to be like just one of the most adaptable scenes, just with the fact that we haven't had a lot of Nintendo backing for our scene for most of our lifespan, no matter what game it is. So, and still the scene has lived on for 20 plus years at this point, since Melee, of course, Melee being the biggest testament to that, being they haven't had a patch, I don't think ever, actually.
No, I think it was just they released the game and
they released the game and they had fun. Yeah.
Because I don't think they could exactly release
I don't think that, there was no way to do that back then.
I don't even think they could release a patch for Wii.
Yeah, I don't think so.
For Brawl, they could really only do it for Smash 4.
Yeah. Yeah, Smash 4 was the first time they actually introduced patching, which was huge.
Yeah. It means we got DLC.
It means we got DLC.
Which was fire.
Yeah, but yeah, so it really comes down to like a parent company thing.
And I mean, there's already a lot of sentiment in the company. Like, one of the top streamers, just like in terms of comedy, Russian Badger. I don't know if anyone in chat's heard of him. There was an entire meme when he was playing Rainbow Six Siege that essentially the entire way that R6 is viewed right now is essentially just the following phrase. Ubisoft, me engi, fix.
Yeah.
Because of that, Frost drop from A to C tier.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. It seems to work. If players like big community figures, like for instance in the Smash scene, like everyone is making uproar. All the top players make uproar. Nintendo doesn't listen.
Nintendo's not.
So it is what it is.
I love Nintendo, but I think Sakurai is done with Smash.
Yeah, it should be interesting. If there is a next Smash title, which most people believe there will be, whether or not Sakurai is going to be a part of it.
I don't think I believe the same without Sakurai.
Yeah, I question the authenticity of a Smash title that Sakurai is absent from, but it is what it is. One thing I did want to touch on, regarding the MSU Smash Club and the greater ECA organization in general is we have Crossroads 2 happening December 2nd, which was announced a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Ethan plugged it during the Smash section.
Which will not just be featuring Smash Ultimate, will also be featuring a Splatoon event as well. And it should be fun.
Crossroads was pretty big last year.
Crossroads was pretty big. We had, I believe, like 91 entrants last year, and this year, we're wanting to and expecting to exceed that, just because we have a lot more talent this time around than we did last year. Last year we had top talent for sure, but we were missing like key players, like several key players. So we didn't have like Rydra. We didn't have, and at the time,
Suspect wasn't there either, correct?
I don't believe so. If I'm trying to remember correctly, at least even if they were there, but they weren't as accomplished as they are now. Everyone has leveled up, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Everyone on the varsity team has leveled up, so we definitely expect some higher competition, especially with the unfortunate postponing of Pantheon. We're kind of missing that
need some of the scratch side.
End of the fall semester competition, high level competition. So again, that's December 2nd. Highly encourage any and everyone to sign up for that.
Entry fee, what's it look like?
Entry fee, I believe, is, let me confirm this before saying anything, but probably around 20. But of course, it depends on which games you sign up for.
Let's just go for, I believe Smash Ultimate Singles is going to be probably what the viewers at home are going to be most interested in.
Obviously, for sure.
The start.gg page for more, but just for Smash Singles alone, what are we looking at?
So for Smash Singles, so I believe we've passed the early bird, but entry fees for Ultimate will be $10, and then if you want to do doubles, that'll be an additional $5.
And then venue fee?
And then venue fee will be $15 for a regular venue fee up until November 27th. So regular venue fee as it stands currently will be $15. So sign up for that, $15 for entry fee. And then again, if you want to sign up for Smash Singles, an extra $10, that would bring you up to, I believe, $25 for both venue and then entering Smash Singles.
Are we gonna have a discount for people who bring setups like we usually do?
I believe, setup refund. So anyone who brings a full setup will receive a $5 refund after top 8 starts. So a full setup would include a monitor, an official or Mayflash or Hitbox GameCube adapter, a switch, a dock, and necessary cables. So you can check all that again on the start.gg page. You will it's start.gg /CR2. We'll get you to the page there.
Really simple link.
And then unfortunately, we did have initially a Street Fighter 6 tournament lined up, but due to the new Nintendo community guidelines, there was something in the rules that said we weren't allowed to have third-party titles at what we would title Smash events, which is unfortunate. So we were looking for workarounds for that. We haven't made a hard decision on it yet. We're still trying to look for maybe there's loopholes alternatives, loopholes in the
but
guidelines.
We still are able to do Splatoon.
We're still able to do Splatoon, which is a Nintendo title. So we assume it would be good for that, as it is, like we said, a first-party Nintendo title.
Stay tuned to the Smash Michigan MSU Smash Discord for that. Again,
for sure.
That's also in the club hub that's at the ECA Discord, so you can join off of that.
So again, Crossroads 2 December 2nd. Would love to see you guys there. I'm very excited personally. I'm very just invested in the overall success of the event because actually, fun fact, I named Crossroads, the original Crossroads. It's actually a kind of Easter egg or nod towards Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Nice.
There's a season 2. The season 2 finale is the episode's titled Crossroads of Destiny. And so with the theme of Crossroads, we wanted it to be like kind of a kind of merging of titles, of gaming titles, specifically within ECA, and just bringing at least some of these games to a crossroads, essentially, and then also just people from all regions of the Midwest we invite to come out. So yeah, in that sense, it is like kind of a coming to a crossroads of players and gaming titles, and that's kind of the theme of the season 2 finale of Avatar as well.
Yeah, before I forget, I want to mention how our MSU Rainbow Six teams are doing in the Midwest R6 league, which is being sponsored this year by MSI.
Nice.
Currently, we have the varsity team MSU Green competing in Division 2, and the team I'm on, MSU White, competing in Division 3. After week 6, there's one more week, which is happening right now, so we don't have the standings for that yet. But after last week, Michigan State Green was in 6th place, going 2-4.
Nice.
And the team I'm on is currently in 4th, going 4-2.
Okay, cool.
So there is obviously some things to be said there. And depending on how things go this week, it will affect how both teams actually end up having to fight in the playoffs against certain teams.
Nice. Okay.
But both teams have had a wonderful run. One
Awesome.
of the MSU Green matches got streamed by Midwest, which was a ton of fun.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Then we've also got, of course, our Counter-Strike teams in their NACE League. Let me see if I can pull up some information about that. They've been doing a lot of feature matches, showing their they've been doing a lot of NACE matches over the semester, figuring out competing. And the varsity team actually made it to playoffs.
Nice. Let's go.
So they played their first playoff game last night. I unfortunately do not have the. Let me see if I can find the scores, if they show up.
But yeah.
I will find the scores.
No, yeah, you're good.
Somewhere.
But yeah, as you can see, a lot of sounds like success in the playoffs for Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah, excited. Definitely keep an eye out for that, and what's going on there.
And then I believe also our esports clubs are also competing in NACE as well. Our varsity teams run by MSU Esports. You probably know how Smash is doing.
Yeah, Smash. So
Valorant while you do that.
Yeah. So for Smash, the NACE team. So we have 3 teams. We have the C team, which is more ran by the MSU Smash Ultimate Club, and then we have the B team, which I need to find out which players are on these teams. We have a B team and of course an A team. I want to say that the A team I believe is still in, but I would need to confirm that.
Yeah, especially with the whole brand new big esports conference, which is huge. It's like an extremely amazing experience to see the fact that we have a esports conference for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks like Rocket League. So all 3, in the previous week, all 3 of our varsity teams took on Northwestern University. Rocket League took it 3-0. Valorant also won 2 maps to 0, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate took it 2 games to 0.
Nice.
It was great, and it looks like DICE took 13 stocks and
wow.
only lost 3.
Wow. Yeah. Dice is just he's different. He's just one of those like I said, one of those just essential and top Michigan players. Yeah, so that's no surprise. That is no surprise that he's cleaning up in Nace.
You want to hear how the MVP of Rocket League did? Across those 3 games, Rocket Man scored 22 goals.
Wow.
That is an average of 7.3 goals
That's crazy.
per game.
That's insane.
From one player.
That's insane.
One player.
That is insane. I mean, when I was casually playing Rocket League a few years ago, it would be a struggle to get like 5 goals as a team.
Yeah.
So,
let alone 7 from a single person. Like, that's nuts.
That's a talent.
And then Valorant actually went into overtime for their second game, but according to this, the MVP for that was Frog, giving them most of their utility, which let them clutch out the second game for that 2-0 victory. So, lots of fun, it looks like.
Yeah. And Nace, of course, is a completely like online competitive tournament in which I believe top 3 teams get payout, maybe.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So definitely a huge opportunity for our players, and they just get to play with other collegiate teams. Get experience, get familiar with the collegiate scene, and I think Nace is just one of those kind of like drivers of competitive collegiate esports.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just creating opportunities for teams, creating opportunities for players to make money, make a name for themselves. Yeah, and it's always been, the times that I've competed in has always been very fun.
Yeah, me too. I've always enjoyed every little bit of it, no matter what it was. I just want to touch on the fact on this big esports conference, man. It's insane. I'm looking at the lineup right now. We've got Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, Maryland, us, MSU, Michigan, University of Michigan, Northwestern, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA. We've got like all of the Big Ten names, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And even something amazing. This isn't related to MSU. I just want to shout out about the Big Ten esports scene. There is apparently going to be a match between probably the biggest rivalry in the Big Ten, UMich versus OSU.
Okay.
And they're doing a big, essentially, show match. They're fighting in 5 titles, and it's going to be first to 3 across all 5.
Wow. That's okay.
Which seems like fun.
Yeah, that seems like fun. Seems like it's going to settle the beef of who is the top dog in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
As far as esports is concerned.
Absolutely.
It's
and
MSU,
then, of course,
but
it's MSU
it's
because
MSU.
What they don't realize is while they're all duking it out over in Columbus, we're just going to casually sneak up the ranks until we just...
Exactly.
If you were
we
us,
do it
we'd
different.
just do it.
Spartan dogs.
Spartan strong, man.
Spartan strong.
We're built different.
We're the
green.
elite. Go green, go white.
Go white. We are just goated.
But yeah. So on the competitive scene on all fronts, as you can see, far and wide, both in the Big Ten and just at home at MSU, a lot of opportunities, a lot of big moves being made.
Yeah.
A lot of winning being done.
We've got a little bit more time left in our little segment here.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that the future podcast will not go 2 hours per episode.
But feel free to ask us more questions in chat
please, from
if you have any.
One mention I have here is we recently got new sets of trading cards for 2 of our clubs. We recently got a brand new set for Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Let me figure out exactly when the pre-release was on that. And we also had a new set just come out yesterday for Pokemon. Paradox Rift just came out yesterday. There's a lot of discontent around that set. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But let me pull up a little bit of information about Magic the Gathering. For those of you who don't know, Magic the Gathering is the card game sponsored by Wizards of the Coast, where you throw down your lands, tap for mana, and cast a bunch of spells. It is the most popular card game right now in the United States, and it is insane. It's been around since like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
So the brand new Magic the Gathering set that recently came out, it looks like is called Wilds of Eldraine.
Okay.
And also coming out this month, very soon is what's called the Lost Caverns of Ixalan.
Okay.
So Ixalan was a set that came out a few years ago, and we're returning back to the universe of Ixalan. Magic has basically these different realms where a lot of the cards are based off of. We're returning back to Ixalan to explore. I'll give you a little title. Dig into Magic's Mesoamerican-inspired set with untold treasures beyond anything you've ever seen before, with massive dinosaurs, mysterious secrets, and an adventure around every corner. It's an adventure worth braving.
Sounds intense. Sounds exciting.
Yeah. Last time we visited Ixalan, we got to meet many dinosaurs. It was a fun set. Dinosaur Tribal was most definitely a thing, and I'm very happy whenever I get to see dinosaurs make a giant stand in the Magic the Gathering scene. I know I will hopefully be able to attend a pre-release for it because it is fun.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great set. Wilds of Eldraine came out earlier this year. Again, kind of shook things up a little bit. And recently they also did a Doctor Who crossover set, which was really cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was really amazing to watch. Just like Magic has been kind of coming together with all of these different like universes. They started with Dungeons and Dragons, and they did Lord of the Rings. Now they're doing Doctor Who. I've heard that we're going to be getting into Assassin's Creed as well.
Okay.
There's a lot of things on the docket, and I've heard I've heard, cannot confirm this, we might even get a Jurassic Park set someday, which would be like insane.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
But yeah, so it's nuts.
Okay.
For Pokemon, Paradox Rift essentially is a brand new set that just came out. It goes into more Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. It is the 4th Scarlet and Violet set released in the United States. Definitely not the 4th set released in Japan, but Japan is weird. They have a whole bunch more sets than we do.
Okay.
But 4th set released, and we are diving into Area Zero. Which for those of you who have played the games, or even for those of you who don't, is essentially an area in Paldea, which is where Scarlet and Violet is set, that has Pokemon from the future and Pokemon from the ancient past.
Okay.
So what they introduced was future and ancient Pokemon. And the card that's been causing the most discontent is a card called Iron Hands EX.
Okay.
So essentially, for those of you who don't know how to win a game of Pokemon, which you will get to see later today at 12 noon, essentially what you need to do is you need to take 6 prize cards that you lay out to the side. Once you take all 6 prize cards, you win the game.
Okay.
You take those prize cards by knocking out your opponent's Pokemon by doing damage, obviously, right? Just like it is in the video games. But in the video games, instead of having a party of 6, you have 6 prize cards to take. Certain cards are worth more prize cards, like more powerful cards might let your opponent take 2 prize cards if you knock it out, or even 3 prize cards.
Okay.
What Iron Hands EX does is it has an attack that if you knock out a Pokemon with the attack, you take an extra prize card.
Okay.
And it essentially, when the card was first announced, there was a lot of like chaos. Essentially, people were like, "This is gonna break the format. It's gonna be nuts. I don't even know." But the thing is, what we've come to realize, or what at least the people at MSU have come to realize, is that it doesn't work in every deck.
Okay.
There are really only 2 decks that's viable, and that is the Miraidon deck, which is all electric type, right? So it makes sense, right? Because Iron Hands is an electric type. And then there is Chien-Pao, which is ironically a water deck.
Okay.
We've apparently had a lot of people say this works in Chien-Pao.
Okay.
And what it is disrupting is it's disrupting one of the most dominant decks in what's been the meta for years at this point, which is called the Lost Zone box. Okay. Essentially, for those of you who are into Magic, that would be essentially utilizing the Exile for those of you into Yu-Gi-Oh! Banishing cards.
Okay.
And essentially, the more cards you have placed in this Lost Zone, certain Pokemon that you have may unlock new abilities.
Okay.
So, like, at one point when you have 4 cards in a Lost Zone, one of your Pokemon no longer needs any resources to attack. They can just attack without anything else.
Okay.
At 7, you unlock a couple cards that let you maybe attach energy faster directly from your deck instead of having to draw into them.
Okay.
At 10 cards in the Lost Zone, there is a Pokemon called Sableye. You guys probably have heard of Sableye before. You can actually place 120 damage across all of your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. But you can only do it when you have 10 cards in the Lost Zone. But the thing is, the deck revolves around a lot of low HP Pokemon. So what Iron Hands is doing is it's essentially allowing Iron Hands to knock out these lower HP Pokemon in one hit and take 2 prize cards instead of 1.
Ooh, okay.
So they only need to knock out 3 Pokemon, and it can one-hit KO each one of them.
Yeah, okay. So that's very strong.
So it originally is being thought that it would break the format, but recently it's like we're just starting to get into Paradox Rift. So I have a feeling that the meta won't stabilize until probably the next big regional in a couple of in like about a month or 2.
Okay.
But it's interesting to see how everything's developed, because it's like there's another deck that recently came into fruition called Roaring Moon. It is I believe the ancient form of Salamence.
Okay.
Actually.
Ooh, okay. Cool.
It has an attack essentially that will. It's either the ancient or future form. Can't remember exactly which one it is. It has an attack that will let you instantly knock out your opponent's Pokemon.
Okay.
But as a cost for that, you have to place 200 damage on the Pokemon itself. So that Pokemon only has 238 HP. So you'd be left with 30 HP left, which is enough to like knock it out. So you have to find ways to get around that, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But it's definitely interesting. We're just starting to see it. We are actually going to see 2 decks that are being proxied by some of our Pokemon people. I'm probably going to play a few matches myself. I don't have any of the proxy decks, but 2 of the decks that are coming to fruition in Paradox Rift, a Goldengo EX deck and a Roaring Moon deck, we are going to see those being able to be played today. And the people who are playing them have had some experience with it, so they can definitely tell you how it works.
Okay, cool.
It'll be a lot of fun to see, but
Nice.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it looks like we've got about 10 minutes left before we have to head over to Splatoon. So, Aaron, do you have any other final things you want to touch on? The first ever episode of the ECA podcast?
Yeah, so just want to take a moment again to talk about the MSU LAN, which will be next week on November 11th. So I believe...
Can I get a close-up shot of the poster again?
Yeah, I believe that is 1 week from today, right?
That is 1 week from today, indeed.
Yeah.
Here's again a little picture of our poster.
MSU LAN, they'll be here 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Again, we'll have all 14 clubs doing events at different times throughout the day. If you head over to the ECA Discord, which what's the link for that again?
Discord.gg/ECA of MSU.
Yeah. So go to that, and then you will be able to see the full lineup of what we got going on for the LAN.
Yeah, we're gonna release all that info very, very soon.
Very soon.
Another big highlight. If you look at that timer right up there, still 8 hours left, folks.
Yeah. So
we've already raised over, thanks to the Smash Club donation, we've already raised over $650, very close to $700 for the Gamers Outreach Foundation. Again, if you are interested in donating, please do !charity in the chat. Donate directly through Tiltify. We will get your donation and be able to read it live on stream. And thank you. I'm just going to double check and make sure that we didn't miss any donations during this section of the podcast.
And then again, later today, we have Comfy Boys at 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you're on campus, of course, it'll be in the Snyder Phillips basement called the Pillar Room. And again, that'll just be kind of a chill time to relax with some fellow gamers. There'll be a lot of different games. There'll be some snacks. So yeah, it's kind of like a LAN party. Come out, enjoy some games, some snacks, some cool people, and chill out. And you'll probably get introduced, I assume, to a bunch of different people within ECA. Yeah, so definitely come out to that again at between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. In the Snyder Phillips basement Pillar Room.
I'm just going to go ahead and do the command in the chat real quick. So the link is there. Again, just click on that link and you will be there. So We're going to leave this time open now for anyone who might be in the chat that has any questions for us. And once we get a little bit closer to, we're going to start getting things all transitioned over to Splat. So, again, we're going to leave this time open for a few minutes. So if you are in the chat, you want to know anything about ECA that we might be able to answer for you, toss it in. We're happy to answer. We're happy to talk.
Yep.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. Well, who better to come over and talk about it than one of you two?
Yeah.
Come on over. All right, and don't forget to feel free to introduce yourselves.
Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Nick. I'm on the Camp Juice team for MSU's Splatoon Club.
I'm Griffin. You probably heard me last night when I was doing some stuff. I am on MSU Deep Sea Divers.
So yeah, quick recap of our.
We got a donation.
The overlay's working today.
Yeah, the overlay is working. We have. Oh wow, that's. We have a donation from Guardian CPR for $50.
Let's go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that. That was amazing of you. So again, thank you so much. It's again going to a wonderful spot, and I have to update our goal now because we are over $250.
Nice. Let's go.
So go ahead, keep going while I update.
Just like a quick recap of our CCA season. It's basically just like a Splatoon league. So every single week we all participate in one match. And currently, we have 4 teams.
Okay.
Our top team, MSU Aries, has 4-0'd every single time except for one. They 4-1'd.
Okay.
Our second team, my team, Camp Juice, we are currently have an overall record of 2-2.
Okay.
So a little bit of an iffy spot if we'll make finals on that, but we'll see. Then Deep Sea Divers.
Deep Sea Divers has, through scheduling problems and some other stuff, we placed a division higher than we realistically should have, so we're struggling a little, but that is just fine. We're learning, we're having fun, and we're improving as a team.
Awesome.
And finally, our 4th team, MSU Soap. They've also been having a little bit of struggles, but they're getting there.
Okay.
As you can see, the bar has shrunk in half. We now have a new goal.
Let's go.
$500. Woo! 8 hours left. We can do it.
Yeah, we can do it. Let's get those donations in, guys. But so thanks for introducing Splatoon and what's going on.
Do we have a confirmation on what's going to be happening in the next few minutes?
Looking at how many people have responded through a couple of different things, it looks like the thing that has the greatest chance of happening is a speed run of Storybook.
Which would be very, very cool.
Cool.
I'm sure there'll be a couple incentives for that as well that would make it a little bit more fun for you guys to donate to such an amazing charity.
And I have a hand cam because one of them is going to require hand cam.
Ooh, it's going to be fun.
All right.
Well, again, it has been a pleasure.
It has been.
This is going to be a great thing. I am so happy that we were able to kind of get this started with the first episode of the ECA podcast happening live at a 24-hour charity live stream. No, that's like, oh my goodness. It's like...
Yeah, it's a special introduction of the podcast. No better time to be doing it than for charity. Again, Gamers Outreach. Very happy.
$50 donation.
$50 donation.
We're not even offering it.
Super appreciative.
Thank you so much, Guardian CPR, for that $50 donation. We really appreciate it.
Very
it is
much
going to such a wonderful cause. And again, we've got so much on the docket. If you want more information about the ECA podcast, we are going to shove more information about it in that Discord. So go be there.
Yeah.
Discord.gg/ECAMSU if you want to donate to charity, Gamers Outreach Foundation, !post charity in the chat. And we will be back here in just a few minutes with some Splatoon action. Thank you all so much, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.